Hi Cosmic Family, it's Cosmic Jazz 222 and today we're here for something quite special. So as you can tell by the title, this is dedicated to the astrological breakdown of 2024. We are about to end off the year, guys, and I find it very, very crazy that we are entering a new year, and looking back, 2023 was quite an interesting year. Okay, so yes, this video I'll be talking about what to expect for 2024 and basically the numerology behind it and some very important transits that will be occurring throughout the year. Now, of course, I did some research and there is a lot going on, so I'm not going to go over every single transit that is happening during 2024, but I will be going over what I believe are the most important transits, okay? And as well as my own intuitive breakdowns of what I am feeling for the year. So before we get into anything, guys, just some disclaimers. If you are new here, if you do like these topics, definitely stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, whatever the case may be. I would greatly appreciate it. However, if you're someone who does not like these topics relating to astrology, tarot, psychic, divination, and anything that is really spiritual, I would highly recommend clicking out of this video and please stay clear of my channel, as I do not want to offend or make anybody feel uncomfortable here. Okay, guys? So with that being said, we're going to start off with the overall picture of what 2024 is about, and I'm actually going to tie numerology into this. Okay, guys? So 2024, if we break down the numerological number, okay, 2, 0, 2, and 4. If you add all those numbers up, all those digits, it equals to the number 8. And the number 8 is the ruling number of 2024. So you're probably wondering, Jazz, what does that mean? Okay, so 8, as any other number, has very important significance. 8 is essentially a number that you can say rules over abundance. It relates to prosperity. It relates to manifestations finally coming into reality or being realized. As if you know about tarot, the number 8 can represent the infinity sign sideways, and you see that in the Magician card as well as the Strength card. And you can even see it sort of in the Two of Pentacles with the Balancing Act, right? So the number 8 is definitely tied into abundance, okay, guys? But I wanted to mention that because we are tying in astrology and all that great stuff into it, right? The number 8 is also ruled by the planet Saturn, okay? So what does this mean, guys? Let me tell you something about 2024. I feel like 2024 is going to be the year where a lot of people realize their own inner power, where people finally snap out of whatever trance they're in, okay? And I'm gonna get into it, okay? Basically snapping out of any type of trance or any type of mindset that has been limiting to them, and ultimately taking the steps towards the life that they want or that is meant for them. Okay, collective? So I want to actually backtrack a little bit and talk a bit about 2023. 2023 was a 7-year, which is ruled by the planet Neptune. Neptune is all about spirituality, hence making the number 7 all about spirituality, introspection, and ultimately a year where we were trying to find the truth. Okay, so you may have noticed 2023 may have been a bit tough for some of you guys. It may have been tough. For others of you, it was a very enlightening year where you realized a lot of truths, not only about yourself, but about the people around you, as well as the life you are living. Okay, as 7 represents looking deeper into things. And yes, 7 can be equated to abundance, good luck, right? As you know, the notorious 777 can be related to abundance and good luck. But 7, with the ruling planet of Neptune casting itself over this number, 2023 was a year of us realizing a lot and ultimately digging deeper and finding out secrets, okay? Secrets were a major theme throughout 2023 as Neptune, yes, deals with spirituality, but it also deals with illusions. It deals with fantasy, facades, deceptiveness, if you want to get into it. And it kind of ties into tarot with the Seven of Swords. Okay, so every time I think of this, I think of the Seven of Swords. And obviously, if you guys know about that card, it does represent things underneath the surface that are being done that may not be too great. Okay, a bit deceptive, a bit shady, if I may say. So I definitely feel like 2023 was that year of us finally seeing the truth, especially through our introspection and us wanting to fall back. So a lot of people have been falling back in 2023, and I actually feel like a lot of hard truths came to be revealed, and these hard truths were obviously hard to swallow. It was a hard pill to swallow, but nevertheless, it brought a new understanding of why things happen, why certain things had to play out the way it did. And ultimately, things do happen for our greater good, right? So now, transitioning into 2024, I feel like 2024 is a bit of an active year though, okay? So I feel like 2024 will be the year where people will finally pop out, as I would say, okay? Well, 2023 was a year, again, we were introspecting, we were finding out truths. Maybe they were shocking, maybe they were not so shocking, but we found out a lot of things personally and in the collective as a community and as a global community. Now, 2024 is our opportunity to take whatever we learned or whatever we realized in 2023 and ultimately come up with a game plan so we can finally take action into whatever goal we have in mind, whether it's for life or whether it's for the actual year 2024. And this ties into, again, the number 8. The number 8 represents, if you're noticing, I'm looking at my notes because I have a lot written down, so bear with me. But the number 8 is all about abundance, prosperity, and finally visualizing what it is we want to visualize, what it is we want to bring into reality. And the number 8 is quite of an active number, in my opinion. As I'm feeling out the energy of 2024, it's very active, it's very leader oriented, it's proactive, okay? It's taking the initiative and no longer being afraid of taking the initiative or taking that first step. So I feel like a lot of people, and as a collective, a lot of people who were probably silent throughout 2023 or possibly focusing on themselves, 2024 will be the year of busting out and showing up, showing out, and really putting yourself out there and making sure that whatever you have in mind as a goal gets accomplished. Now, how does Saturn play into this, okay? Saturn, if you are familiar with astrology, is the planet of karma, discipline, restriction, time, maturing, and responsibilities. So although number 8 is very lively and very abundant and very much action oriented, as it talks about bringing in manifestations and getting things done, there is a serious connotation when it comes to the number 8 with the Saturn energy. The number 8 is ultimately teaching us to take leadership, okay? To take control over our lives, to be disciplined, to be perseverant, to be ambitious towards our goals. And it is through that energy where we can actually make that happen. It's one thing to plan, guys. It's one thing to plan out what we truly want in our lives. But it's another thing if we have the courage and the power and the determination to get that done, to make it happen, okay? So that is what number 8 and 2024 as a whole is basically telling us to do as a collective, or a lot of people feel called to do that. Excuse me, that's facts. So with that being said, guys, the main theme I would say for 2024, and if I said 2023, I apologize. Listen, I'm channeling, but 2024, the main thing is if you truly want it, you go after it. You do it. If you truly want this thing to happen, you will have to put in the work, but it is through that hard work where things will finally start to manifest quickly. So you may notice also, collective, a lot of things begin to come in a little bit faster the more work you put in, the more investments you put in, the more attention and determination and commitment you put in towards something. You notice it starts to pick up pace. I would say towards the beginning of the year, guys, it might start off slow because Saturn is a very slow moving energy planet, okay? And it deals with hard work pays off, slow and steady wins the race. And oftentimes wisdom through the journey is incorporated into this idea, okay? So taking steps. But then as we go towards the end of the year, or towards the end of the year, we notice that we're making a lot of progress, but we may not realize that during the process of putting in that work. And again, this can refer to any part of your life, collective, okay? Nevertheless, guys, when it comes to that as well, there is still a spiritual underlying energy here as well, because if you look at the number 8, if you flip it over, it's the infinity sign. And if you know about tarot and the Two of Pentacles specifically, how I'm visualizing this is just an intuitive download I'm getting. I'm seeing this as the balance of the spiritual and the material. So last year was a very spiritual year. A lot of people were stepping into their spiritual awakening, or getting more into spirituality, or getting more into a belief system or a religion, okay? I feel like this year is us finally finding that balance that we process with the spiritual and finally allowing it to manifest in the physical. So this could literally represent manifestations coming to reality, as the number 8 again speaks of abundance, manifestations coming to reality, and infinite possibilities, okay? Now, with that being said, I'm going to start getting into the transits, all right? So hold tight and I'll see you guys there. So starting up, I'm so sorry, guys. Sorry if it's a little bit shaky. I'm using a phone holder. But anyways, so starting off the year, we start, this is kind of funny to me. January 1st, we start off the year ending Mercury retrograde, okay? So Mercury will go direct in the sign of Capricorn on January 1st, okay? Actually, I take that back. It goes direct in the sign of Sagittarius, and then it will continue to transit through the sign of Capricorn, January 1st, okay? So we're already starting off the year ending one of the most notorious retrogrades out there, okay, guys? So again, the fact that we're starting off the year with a planet going direct, this is telling me that it's game time. It's time to go. It's time to get things moving, okay? Because the whole point of the Mercury retrograde is for us to reevaluate our thoughts, things, contracts, anything regarding the past that still needs to be wrapped up from 2023. This is our time to finalize it. And now it's our time to start taking action based on us reevaluating everything and doing things the proper way, okay? Especially since we're tying into that Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, guys. Remember that, okay? So with that being said, we start off the year with the Mercury retrograde ending. January 12th, Juno goes retrograde in the sign of Virgo. And you're wondering, what is Juno? Juno is an asteroid that we use in astrology that can be linked to soulmates, okay, marriages, commitment of any kind, contracts, and this has ties to Greek and Roman mythology, but I'm not going to get into that. But all I can say is it's going retrograde in Virgo and on January 12th. And during this time, this is when a lot of commitments within the collective will be reevaluated. The most prominent one being marriages. So I would not be surprised during this time a lot of people are reevaluating their marriages. Usually we see a lot of divorces or people filing for divorce during Juno retrograde, especially in the sign of Virgo, because Virgo is a very critical sign. So there's something about paying attention to details. Perhaps a lot of the divorces or a lot of the separations we might be seeing during the Juno retrograde is because of the fine print, the details are not being met, okay, or the expectations are not being met. On top of that, it will be opposing during the retrograding process of Juno, it will be opposing Saturn, which will be sitting in the sign of Pisces, okay? And again, Saturn is all about contracts and responsibility. So again, I see a lot of people reevaluating their marriages, or if it's a committed relationship, a lot of people will be reevaluating it. And oftentimes it doesn't even have to be separation. It could actually be people wanting to reevaluate where they want the connection to go in the future. And with Virgo, with that Virgo energy, it's like, okay, so let's get really specific. What do we see for ourselves in the future? What are our game plans? What's the game plan? What are the milestones? When do we want to do this, do that, and do that? What is the time frame? So I'm seeing a lot of just planning and thinking and being very specific. Okay, guys. On top of that, I do feel like with this Virgo energy, a lot of people will also be reevaluating their commitments with their physical vessel, the physical body. I feel like a lot of people are going to be changing their lifestyles during this time as well, because Virgo does rule over health. I'm also seeing something with pets. Some people might be considering buying a pet or deciding to commit to a pet or an animal or things relating to animals. So I'm also seeing that during that time. Okay, and Juno retrograde will be retrograding until April 21st of 2024. The next transit, January 20th, this is the big one. Pluto enters Aquarius. Guys, let me tell you something about Pluto. Pluto is the slowest moving planet and is considered the most notorious generational planet out there because it moves very slowly. And Pluto often represents the generations, as I said, okay? So this whole time, Pluto has been transiting the sign of Capricorn, and what it has been doing for the past 15 to 20 years, Pluto has been breaking down and showcasing the power that is within the institution, specifically governments, political powers, as Capricorn rules all of that. So we have seen transformations and the slow deterioration and breakdown of these political powers during Pluto's transits through Capricorn. And we were also seeing the manipulation of power used with the political powers and the world nations and basically the top honcho that's ruling our society as a whole. Okay, and with Pluto entering Aquarius, this gives rise to the notorious age of Aquarius, as we are entering the generation of Aquarius. Okay, so what this means is we're going from Capricorn to Aquarius. Aquarius represents the collective, it represents the people. So, and I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying this, so this is facts. When Pluto enters Aquarius, the power dynamic, the power pendulum basically swings towards the collective. So we will start to see a focus on how the collective or how the governing body, okay, us, how we regular people begin to amp up in power. So you may notice there's more uprisings, there's more protests. That's what I was trying to think of the word. Protest. There's a lot more pushback from the people when it comes to those who are in power, and you're going to see that slowly but surely we're shifting into a society where we're focusing on humanitarian things. And as you know, in our world today, there's a lot of humanitarian issues that are coming up, and it's due to the misuse of power with the government. And again, it's all alleged, entertainment purpose only, okay? But with that being said, we're going to see more power with the collective, and people are going to be talking more protests, people wanting their voices to be heard. And ultimately, we're going to see, even through boycotting, how it's going to really destroy institutions and political powers that have been misusing that power granted to them, okay? So we already are seeing the energy because Pluto has been going back and forth between Capricorn and Aquarius. But once this shift happens, we're going to see even more. So pay attention to what's happening globally as Aquarius rules the global sphere. Okay, now February 10th, I want to mention this because my family, as you know, I'm half Asian, Cambodian, but I got some Chinese in me. So my family also celebrates Lunar New Year's, and February 10th, we have Lunar New Year's, or Chinese New Year's as we say it. And we will be entering the year of the wooden dragon, okay? So it's the year of the dragon, but the element associated to this dragon year is the wood element. So as in trees, okay? The wood on the trees, okay? So the reason why I wanted to add this in, because it actually ties beautifully into the number 8 of the year 2024. The dragon, if you think about dragons, they're full of energy. They represent power. They represent resilience. They represent even leadership to a certain extent, okay? But the dragon, it breathes fire, it breathes life. So, and it's one of the biggest mythical creatures out there, you know, that is seen worldwide in different cultures. So on top of that, it's wood, it's the wood element. So this actually brings in creativity and new inspirations to the collective. And during this year, we'll start to see more people, again, putting in effort, wanting to make things happen, being more motivational, being more determined, being more ambitious with their goals and their achievements. So I feel like collectively with the number 8, people are willing to put in the work. You know, they don't want to sit around. They want to actually make things happen. On top of that, what I'm also hearing, what I'm also intuitively getting is there's something about regeneration. I don't know why I'm hearing regeneration or saying the word regeneration. So regenerating solid foundations. I'm seeing that because if you think of wood, if you think of the element, it's the trees, and trees are usually they represent longevity. They represent long-term, even generations, as we think of the family tree, right? So I'm saying something this year, whatever happens this year, or whatever is accomplished this year, is going to lead to long-term success and longevity, almost generational at this point. So whatever collective, whatever you want to put your mind to this year, it's going to lead to legacy. It's going to lead to things that will benefit generations that come after you, your descendants, okay? And it's through your hard work, it's through your ambition, it's through your passion, okay? It's through that fire that you want to breathe out into the world. So during this year, take advantage of any opportunities when it comes to your life purpose, when it comes to your career, and even when it comes to creating a stable foundation for your family and for the descendants that will come after you, collective, okay? Beautiful message. February 29th, yes, 2024 is a leap year, so I wanted to add that in as well. And I just saw 10:10 on the clock. So I feel like there's a lot of things that will be wrapping up around this time. February 29th, there's a lot of conclusions, a lot of things closing out. All right, now guys, we are going to be entering eclipse season. All right, March 25th. March 25th, we're going to have the full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Libra. During this time, we will also have Venus in Pisces conjunct the planet Saturn. What does this mean, guys? First of all, this full moon is happening in the sign of Libra, which is all about balance. It's all about relationships. It's all about the others, you know, those that are not part of us, okay? So it can be marriages, relationships, business partners, even open enemies to a certain extent. Now, the planet Venus rules over Libra, so therefore it rules over this full moon or this eclipse. Venus is going to be conjunct Saturn in the sign of Pisces, okay? So what I'm seeing, again, this is kind of tying into the Juno retrograde. I really feel like, again, during this time, a lot of people are going to be reevaluating their commitments, not just with relationships, which is the most prominent one here, but when it comes to their career, when it comes to their responsibilities, whatever responsibilities that may be, even with money. I'm seeing there's going to be changes and shifts with how people are viewing their relationship with money, as Venus rules over the money and Saturn is all about responsibilities and contracts and all that good stuff. So that's going to be happening, okay? And usually eclipses are very energetic time. It's full of energy, it's very potent. The energy is very potent during this time. So definitely be on the lookout for March 25th. Again, I'm not going to go in depth with each transit, but I just want to let y'all know what's really happening, okay? Now, April 1st. Mercury retrograde is happening again, but in the sign of Aries. And Mercury and Aries they pop off, okay? If you were born with Mercury and Aries, please let me know, because I feel like you guys be popping off, okay? Aries is a fire sign. I'm an Aries. I should know this, okay? But during this time, a lot of people, again, are going to be reevaluating their thought, their mindset, how they speak. And I actually feel like there might be a lot of confrontations during this time. So I'm going to get into it closer to that date, but that's what I'm totally getting so far. Now, April 5th, I want to add this because this is my birthday. Yes, your girl was born. Your girl was born on April 5th, okay? And during this day, the sun is going to conjunct the North Node in Aries. Interesting enough. This is, I think, is important, okay? Besides my birthday, because anyway, it's not about me. But when the sun and North Node are conjunct, this is obviously influencing the eclipse energy as well, right? But with the sun and North Node conjunction, this is all about where we're supposed to be headed as a collective. So if I haven't mentioned already, the nodes and Aries and Libra, that whole axis is going to be the driving force of 2024. Just letting you know. And as a collective with the North Node, or the destiny, point of destiny for the collective, we're supposed to be focused on self and our purpose and our leadership and our masculine energy. Now, the South Node is in Libra, which again represents relationships, but the South Node is the past, karma, and what we're supposed to be letting go. So this can talk about letting go of toxic dynamics, codependency. And obviously with this transit, I am seeing a lot of, I'm going to say the abbreviation, I'm seeing a lot of DV, okay, occurring, even SA. So with that being said, I'm not saying it's going to be an uptick. I'm not saying that, but I am saying we're going to hear more about people speaking up on it, especially with the retrograde happening, Mercury retrograde happening in the sign of Aries. So I'm just letting you know with that. I'm feeling like more people are going to be speaking out on those experiences they had in the past. And obviously, I actually feel like as well, if there are separations during this time, which I do feel like is going to happen, a lot of them is going to be due to that. Due to those two things, okay? Just letting you know. So with that being said, transitioning to April 8th, we have the new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Aries. Now, guys, pay close attention to this specific transit because there's a lot going on, okay? Let me just break it down real quick. So this new moon, when the moon and the sun conjunct in the sign of Aries with this eclipse, it's also conjunct Chiron. And let me tell you, Chiron, you thought Saturn was back. Chiron messes with you, okay? Chiron is an asteroid that represents the wounded healer. And this, again, is tied to Greek mythology. But again, I'm not going to get into that. Chiron, just know, is a point of healing, but also represents our traumas and our wounds that we are supposed to heal within ourselves, and thus we can heal within other people. So this new moon is going to be conjunct Chiron at 19 degrees while Mercury retrograde is happening, okay? And at the same time, Mars and Saturn will be conjunct in the sign of Pisces. So what does this all mean? First of all, this is the first download I was getting. People during this time, if you have been doing the inner work, if you have been healing, if you have been going to therapy, if you have been doing anything in your power to improve yourself and to overcome any traumatic experiences or overcoming any toxic behaviors that you have identified within yourself, during this new moon, you will be experiencing a rebirth in your own personal power. You're going to feel more lively. You're going to feel more in control of your life. And you actually might be the epitome or be an example for other people who might be going through the same journey as you. So I see a lot of people who have been healing actually being role models, actually guiding people, being counselors. I'm seeing that with this energy, okay? But also, if you're not somebody who has been doing the work, or you've been constantly not learning your lesson and repeating patterns, I do feel like this energy might kick you in the butt a little bit. You might not be having a good time. I'm just letting you know. Just know those traumas are going to be brought up once again, and it might sting very badly, and it's going to be up in your face. That's the thing about this Aries energy. Aries is up in your face. You'll know. Okay, you'll know. It's gonna be smack dead in your face. I'm just letting you know that, okay? But also, another download I was getting with this new moon eclipse is the Mars-Saturn conjunction in Pisces. So guys, pay attention to the ocean during this time. I don't know why I'm feeling this intuitively, but I do feel like something significant might be happening with the ocean, with the water. I don't know what this is, but with this Mars and Saturn, there's something angry. I don't know. I don't want to scare you guys, but there's like this angry, pent up, restricted energy here. It's almost giving like volcanic vibes. You know how like when a volcano is dormant, but the pressure begins to build because the lava and all the molten rocks and the gases start to build up, and then boom, there's an explosion. I'm getting that type of energy here because Mars and Saturn kind of play into that volcanic energy, and then we got Pisces, which is the ocean. So I would not be surprised if there are possible eruptions happening with the world, especially with, you know, the tectonic plates or like the ring of fire, specifically the Pacific Ocean. I would not be surprised if we start to see some activity there. Okay, again, alleged. I'm also feeling as well, guys, if you are in the spiritual community or you're part of any religious groups, there is going to be some type of conflict with that. Okay, this can even be things that have been suppressed about certain groups or certain ideologies actually coming up to the surface and people kind of scrutinizing it. I don't know what this is though, but I'm seeing like, how do I describe this? Like I'm seeing certain beliefs being, I don't think scrutinized, critiqued. I'm seeing something about critiquing and just certain truths being revealed about the spiritual community or about any type of religious groups, because again, we're dealing with Pisces. Pisces is very spiritual. I'm hearing scammers. So scamming, so I know people be scamming in the spiritual community, even religious groups. People be scamming in the name of God or in the name of source, in the name of the divine. Those people, y'all not gonna have a good time. You guys are not gonna have a good time with this new moon eclipse. Just letting you know. Just letting you know, them scammers are gonna get exposed. Okay, anyways, that's besides the point. Let's keep going. April 20th, Jupiter conjuncts Uranus in the sign of Taurus. So far, Uranus and Jupiter have been in Taurus. So if you are Taurus, you have been blessed. You're getting blessed by Jupiter. And although Uranus is like kind of messing you up a little bit on the side, but Jupiter is in your sign and you possibly have been feeling blessed all of a sudden, right? So what I'm seeing with the Jupiter conjunct Uranus transit in the sign of Taurus on April 20th, I actually feel like there's going to be new ideas coming up in the collective in regards to how to make new money or more money, or what new ventures will bring prosperity. I'm seeing like innovations, because think of it, Jupiter is all about expansion and good luck and even higher knowledge. And Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. And this is all about ideas. But Uranus is very like instantaneous. It's very like out of nowhere, curveball. That's what Uranus represents. So I feel like when these two come together in the sign of Taurus, which represents money, the physical realm, material things, and even the earth itself, right? I do feel like more people are going to be coming up with ideas that not only help us with our knowledge and understanding of the world, but also it brings in new money. I actually feel like new industries are going to be born with this transit. I'm feeling that. New industries you would have never thought, or we might be seeing a cross path, a crossing of two industries that we possibly would have never thought would like coincide with each other. Does that make sense? I'm seeing that. I'm also seeing with this transit, there is something that's going to be coming out with the agricultural industry. So farmers, I feel like farmers are actually going to be benefiting from this transit. Or I'm also seeing more people getting into farming or wanting to work with the earth more, wanting to work with plants. I'm seeing plant science, plant medicine, more people trying to understand like how, like holistic healing. I'm getting that. I'm really getting that. But it's ideas that you would have never thought of. So you're going to see more of that. I'm also feeling like there's more reverence for the earth. We're going to see collectively during this transit, more people are going to be focused on wanting to create a healthier environment for planting or for farming. So again, there's something with the farming. I don't know what this is, but like pay attention to that as well. If you are a farmer or you're in the agricultural industry, I think you're going to be liking this transit quite a lot. Okay, so moving on, May 2nd, Pluto goes retrograde and it will hop itself back into Capricorn one last time, and it's going to be retrograding until October 1st. So again, we're going to be in Aquarius. Pluto's going to be in Aquarius for quite some time, but then it's going to go back into Capricorn. And again, we're going to see that shift in power dynamics. We're going to see that tug and pull between the political power, whoever is controlling everything, and the people. We're going to keep seeing that tug of war happening. Okay, guys? Now, May 25th. Hey Geminis, I hope you guys are ready for this transit. If you have any Gemini placements, Jupiter is about to bless y'all heavily until next year. So yes, Jupiter will be entering the sign of Gemini on May 25th. And this is conveniently during Gemini season. So what I feel like with this transit, there's going to be more focus on education. I actually feel like more people are going to go back to school, or more people are wanting to learn new things, because I keep seeing the passing of knowledge, information, even a lot of networking. Networking is going to skyrocket. I'm seeing so many connections forming, not like romantic, but it's more like passing on knowledge and spreading information so that everybody is included and everybody knows about this. So I do feel like this is going to be a very beneficial transit for teachers and professors, even coaches, or anybody who speaks and actually teaches another person. So this can even be gurus. If you're a guru, you will do amazing with this transit. Motivational speakers, coaches, like I stated. And I keep seeing information spreading very quickly. So perhaps there might be some type of upgrade or innovation with social media, or there's something about communication becomes easier. So it can be like our cellular devices, something, there might be an upgrade with technology in some way. But that's just like a side note. I also feel like more people are going to be less traditional during this time. I feel like people are going to be more progressive and more open to newer information, but also information that differs from their own beliefs. Like I'm getting that. So if someone is more traditional or very stubborn and stuck in their ways, I actually feel like a lot more of them are going to be finally open to seeing the other side of the coin, and honestly accepting the new instead of latching onto the old. Does that make sense, guys? So I'm feeling that. I'm also saying, yes, people, yes, this is kind of tying back to letting go of old ways. People are going to be more adaptive, as Gemini is all about adaptation. I'm also getting a download about twins, so I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see more people. If there is a baby boom, I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see more twin births happening in the collective, or more people wanting to have twins. And there's also something about twin flames. Okay, guys, if you know me personally, I don't like the twin flame agenda thing, but I'm seeing there's going to be a lot of discussions relating to the twin flame thing, and it actually might be a lot of debunkings that's happening during that time. So I'm going to be posting a video about twin flames. Don't just you wait. Just you guys wait. I'm going to be going off. Okay, anyways, that's besides the point, but I'm seeing something about twins. We'll see. We'll see when that time comes, okay? June 29th, Saturn will be going retrograde until November 15th in the sign of Pisces. I'm not going to get into that, but just know a lot of karmic things being basically coming back, okay? July 2nd, Neptune goes retrograde in the sign of Pisces until December 7th. Again, I'm not going to go into that. We'll get into it when the time comes. July 26th, Chiron goes retrograde in the sign of Aries until December 29th. This I'm going to be looking forward to, because the retrograde with Chiron is crazy. August 4th, Mercury goes retrograde in the sign of Virgo, and then it will be backtracking into Leo. All right. And that happens like for 2 weeks, so don't worry about that. September 1st, Uranus goes retrograde in Taurus. Okay, we're not going to go into that. September 17th, now we're entering eclipse season once again. So we will have the full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces. And during this exact time, Neptune will be going retrograde. It goes retrograde on July 2nd, but it'll still be going retrograde during this time. And it will be conjunct the full moon, this eclipse, okay? At the same time, Saturn retrograde will be in Pisces, but it will be opposing Mercury and Virgo, which is interesting. And also the South Node in Libra will be conjunct Lilith. Let me just say, guys, this eclipse, so if you are into magic and spell work, I feel like there is going to be, or you believe in it, a lot of people are going to be tapping into that. Just so you know, it's a full moon in Pisces, an eclipse at that. Oh my goodness. Just a lot of spell work. I am seeing that. I'm seeing and I'm be honest, I unfortunately am seeing spell work being done not in a great way, because we have that Lilith conjunct Libra South Node. It feels like vengeance to me. It feels like trying to get something or trying to make something happen because it's coming from a place of either anger or resentment or just like a strong desire or lust. So I would be careful with this energy, especially if you're doing all of that. Be careful. I feel like the energy is potent for that, but I'm not going to get into it, but I think you get the gist, right? October 2nd, the new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Libra. What is happening? This is another important transit to look out for. Let me just tell you why. The South Node, Lilith, and Mercury are going to be conjunct this new moon. On top of that, there is a grand water trine happening at the same time between Venus and Scorpio, Saturn retrograde in Pisces, and then Mars in Cancer. So I feel like during this time, guys, work with some water. If you want to take a spiritual bath, that's perfect. If you want to be by the water during this time, doing something with the water element is going to be very beneficial. Even watering your plants. I'm seeing something about charging. Okay, if you're into charging your water under the new moon or the eclipse, watering your plants, I'm getting this download. If you water your plants, that's going to be very beneficial for it. Or you're going to see a lot of growth and a lot of abundance coming in with that. But here's what I'm also seeing with this energy. Again, I'm not going to get into it completely, but again, I am seeing something about the past. I'm seeing I keep hearing the word vengeance. Like people are doing things out of revenge. I'm also picking up during this time, I would not be surprised if a lot of people are dealing with past energies, specifically people they met in the past or people they dealt with in the past. I'm also really feeling like if you're into past lives, a lot of people will be meeting those that they met in a past life. So I'm seeing a lot of past life connections forming during this time. I'm also getting with this transit, people might be getting into relationships just to ruffle somebody else's feathers. I don't know what this means, but I mean, maybe I do know what this means, but I'm feeling like people might be getting to relationships to piss off somebody else. So it's like just to spite people. Again, it's like that vengeance. It's like, oh, I'm going to make sure you feel what I felt when it's one of those things. So I would not recommend doing that, but hey, who might, you guys, it's your life. But anyways, next we have October 9th, Jupiter goes retrograde in the sign of Gemini. November 25th, Mercury retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius. And then finally, we end off the year, December 26th, Mars goes retrograde in the sign of Leo. Now this one I would also say be on the lookout for, because Mars retrograde, the eclipses are ruled by Mars and Venus, okay? And this Aries energy is so prominent, so definitely pay attention to that as well. So with that being said, guys, that is basically some of the most important transits to look out for 2024. I try my best to explain it, but again, don't worry guys, throughout the year I'm going to post videos explaining these transits more into details closer to the date, so don't worry. But I just wanted to give you guys a brief rundown of what to expect for 2024. Now, if I could sum this all up, the whole point of 2024 is to get things done and to achieve whatever goals you have in mind. Because if it's through hard work, if it's through determination, if it's through discipline, those things can come to fruition because the energy is supporting it. However, if you're doing a half job, if you're not really in it 100%, don't expect things to really manifest quickly. Don't expect things to really be smooth. You have to be 100% in. It's like if you want something, you make it happen. That's the energy of 2024. Now, when it comes to the dating scene, I definitely feel like dating might be a bit difficult. I'm not gonna lie, because with the Juno retrograde I would say the beginning of the year, dating might be a little bit crazy. But again, this is just the collective energy. We all have our own charts, guys. Okay, we all have our own charts. So perhaps this energy is beneficial to you, But again, just take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But I'm really curious to see how this all plays out. And yes, I will be looking back at this video to see if anything does happen throughout the year. I will be posting a world's prediction tarot reading soon. I might be recording it after this, to be honest. But yeah. So I'm gonna be using cards essentially, and I'm gonna be seeing what to expect, basically what to expect in our global atmosphere for 2024, right? So with that being said, guys, I hope this video was helpful. If you're like new to astrology, I greatly apologize. I am trying my best. I hope I did explain things to the point where you could comprehend it, but if not, that's totally fine. But hopefully as you follow me and subscribe to my channel, and as you begin to learn more, the language becomes easier for you, okay? So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think of this, and honestly, what other transits you are looking forward to. So with that being said, guys, I am clocking out, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.